When it comes to building your financial future, choosing the right investment vehicle can make all the difference. But when faced with ETFs and mutual funds, how do you pick the better option for long-term success? When planning for long-term investing, one question often arises. Should you choose ETFs or mutual funds? Both options offer great potential and are designed to help you grow your wealth over time. But they come with important differences. In this video, we'll break down the facts to guide you in making an informed decision. We look at costs, flexibility, tax efficiency, and more without the fluff. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned investor, understanding these two investment vehicles can give you an edge. So, let's dive into the details and find out which one might be better for your financial future. Chapter 1. Definition and Basic Structure. ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, and mutual funds might seem similar, but they function differently. Let's start with ETFs. Think of them like stocks you can trade during the day on an exchange. Most ETFs are passively managed, tracking a specific index, like the S&P 500. This structure allows investors to gain exposure to various assets while benefiting from intraday trading flexibility. You can buy or sell ETFs anytime the market is open, making them a popular choice for hands-on investors. Now, mutual funds work a bit differently. They pool money from many investors, and a professional portfolio manager usually oversees the investments. These funds are bought or sold only at the end of the trading day, when their net asset value (NAV) is calculated. While many mutual funds are actively managed, some follow a passive strategy. The benefit of active management is that funds try to outperform the market, though that often comes with higher fees. Both ETFs and mutual funds give you access to a diverse range of investments, like stocks, bonds, or other assets. The main difference? ETFs offer more flexibility and often lower fees, while mutual funds may offer the potential for added expertise through active management. Chapter 2. Cost Analysis. When it comes to costs, ETFs often take the lead. The average expense ratio for ETFs is around 0.16%, meaning you'd pay about $16 annually for every $10,000 invested. This low cost is a big attraction for long-term investors because less money spent on fees means more left to grow. ETFs also typically come with no sales commissions, and many brokers now offer commission-free trading. On the other hand, mutual funds tend to be pricier. Actively managed mutual funds often charge higher expense ratios, averaging around 0.44%. This translates to $44 annually for every $10,000 invested. Some mutual funds may also have sales loads, fees taken when you buy or sell shares, that can range from 1 to 2% or more. These fees can eat into your returns over time. Another key difference is in trading costs. ETFs can have spreads, the difference between their buying and selling prices, though these are usually minor. Mutual funds, however, might include trading fees, sometimes up to $50 per transaction, if purchased through certain brokerages. ETFs generally provide more cost-effective investing, especially over the long term, while mutual funds come with added costs that may or may not justify the active management they offer. Chapter 3. Management Style: Active versus Passive. ETFs are primarily known for their passive management style, which means they typically track an index, such as the S&P 500. This style is designed to match market performance rather than exceed it, contributing to lower fees and consistent returns. While there are actively managed ETFs, they're less common. Mutual funds, on the other hand, are often actively managed. This means a professional manager makes decisions on what and when to buy or sell, aiming to outperform the market. While this sounds appealing, the reality is different. A 20-year study showed that 93% of active managers in large-cap mutual funds failed to beat the market. Plus, active management comes with higher fees, which can further erode returns. However, some investors appreciate the potential for active management to respond quickly to market changes. Offering a personalized approach, that passively managed funds typically lack. Chapter 4. Tax Efficiency. Tax efficiency is another area where ETFs often shine. Their unique structure allows them to be more tax efficient than mutual funds. When ETFs are bought or sold, shares are exchanged in kind, meaning they don't trigger capital gains taxes for the remaining investors. This process minimizes unexpected tax liabilities, making ETFs a strong choice for taxable accounts. Mutual funds, on the other hand, can be less tax-friendly. When a mutual fund manager buys or sells assets within the fund, it may generate capital gains that must be distributed to all shareholders. Even if you didn't personally sell your shares, you could still be hit with a tax bill at the end of the year. This can make mutual funds more suitable for tax-deferred accounts like IRAs, where these distributions won't impact you immediately. In short, if tax efficiency is a priority, ETFs tend to have the upper hand, especially for investments held in taxable accounts. Chapter 5. Trading Flexibility and Accessibility. One significant advantage ETFs offer is their trading flexibility. They can be bought and sold like stocks throughout the day whenever the market is open. This allows investors to respond quickly to market movements, taking advantage of real-time pricing. This feature is appealing for those who prefer more active engagement with their investments or need liquidity at a moment's notice. Mutual funds, however, don't provide the same flexibility. They're priced only once at the end of each trading day when their net asset value or NAV is calculated. This means if you place an order during the day, it won't be executed until the market closes. For some investors, this delay can be a disadvantage, especially during volatile market periods. Accessibility-wise, ETFs often have lower entry points. You can start investing with just the cost of one share, whereas mutual funds may require higher initial investments, sometimes starting at $2,500 or more. Chapter 6. Risk and Volatility. Both ETFs and mutual funds help investors mitigate risk through diversification, offering exposure to a broad range of assets. However, each comes with its own unique considerations. ETFs, especially those passively managed to track indexes, move in line with market trends. This means if the market dips, the ETF follows suit without any intervention. The simplicity of tracking an index can result in consistent performance, but doesn't adapt to sudden shifts. Mutual funds, often actively managed, can react to market changes more effectively. Managers have the discretion to shift the fund's holdings in response to economic events, potentially reducing losses during downturns. However, this active management comes with higher costs, which may or may not be justified by the performance. It's essential to remember that while both investment types diversify your portfolio, they aren't risk-free. The specific assets within each fund ultimately determine the level of risk and volatility you'll face. Chapter 7. Pros and Cons Summary. Let's break down the pros and cons of both investment options. ETFs come with notable advantages. They have lower expense ratios, typically around 0.16%, meaning less of your investment is eaten up by fees. They're also more tax efficient, with minimal unexpected capital gains taxes due to their unique structure. The flexibility of intraday trading allows investors to respond quickly to market changes. However, ETFs aren't without downsides. They can trade at a premium or discount to their net asset value, and niche ETFs may have lower liquidity. Mutual funds offer the benefit of active management, allowing skilled managers to potentially adjust holdings for better performance during market volatility. This adaptability is appealing, but it comes at a cost. Higher expense ratios averaging 0.44% and possible sales loads. Mutual funds also lack intraday trading, limiting investors to end-of-day prices. Both options can play valuable roles in a diversified portfolio. ETFs are often better for those who prioritize low fees, tax efficiency, and trading flexibility. Mutual funds may be ideal for investors looking for active engagement and who don't mind paying a premium for that potential edge. Balancing these factors is key to aligning with your financial goals. Chapter 8. Use case scenarios. Choosing between ETFs and mutual funds depends on your specific investment goals and preferences. ETFs are often the best fit for hands-off, long-term investors who value lower fees and tax efficiency. If you prefer flexibility and the ability to respond quickly to market changes, ETFs allow intraday trading, making them ideal for active market watchers. They're also accessible, with many brokers offering fractional shares, so even small investments can get started. Mutual funds, on the other hand, are better suited for those who appreciate active management. If you're looking for a fund that aims to outperform market indexes and you're comfortable paying higher fees for potential added expertise, mutual funds can be a great choice. This is especially true for retirement accounts or tax-deferred portfolios, where annual capital gains distributions won't affect you. Ultimately, using a mix of both ETFs and mutual funds can provide a balanced strategy, blending low costs with the potential for active outperformance. In the end, both ETFs and mutual funds offer valuable opportunities for long-term investors. ETFs shine with their low fees, tax efficiency, and trading flexibility, making them an appealing choice for those who want simplicity and cost savings. Mutual funds provide active management, potentially offering tailored responses to market changes, albeit at a higher cost. Your decision should align with your investment goals, risk tolerance, and management style preferences. Remember, you don't have to pick just one. Combining both can diversify your portfolio and leverage their unique strengths. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. See you in the next video.